Salute, Joe. Salute. Brooklyn, I see you. I got sent the link about Tanya TKO and another podcaster called Cynthia G. I've addressed them individually based on the type of commentary that they use, the narrative that they promote, and it's always been clear to me that there is a disdain for black men. Why there is a disdain? It's almost like who hurts you type situation or whatever case may be. However, during this situation, obviously there was a panel that Tanya TKO and Cynthia G was on, and Cynthia G was promoting a narrative that Tanya TKO did not agree with. That she actually said, you know what, I'm not with where you're going right now. You know what I'm saying? What you're saying right now, I don't dislike black men that much. I don't have a disdain for black men that much. And I'm not going to agree with you. Tanya TKO, let me publicly say this. Congratulations. Congratulations on standing up. This is what we need to do as black men and women and not support crazy narratives. This is what we need to do. When you hear somebody say something about someone that is so foul, about someone that is just takes them to another level, it's like of crazy, you got to stand up. And you said something I seen in your last video. I just went back and checked it out because I didn't know what was really going on. You have to be strong enough to know when to part ways. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to be strong enough to know when to part ways. For anybody that promotes hate speech against men, against women, against communities, those are people that should not get your support. Those are people that should not get your donations. It sends a great message when it showcases, oh, if I have an issue with all black women, I sit online and I call them names and I disrespect them or whatever case may be. It sends a great message to other races when I receive donations for promoting that hatred. It sends a great message to other races when I sit online and say, well, I have a disdain for all black men. Cynthia G said that black male babies should be aborted. And Cynthia G has a child, a male child herself. If you go to Tanya TKO's page, I believe the panel was hosted by Cynthia G. But you guys can go check it out. Just look up their names. I'm sure you can get it. You know, salute, salute, salute. I just have a real disdain for people who promote so much hatred. And for some reason, with all the things that's going on, YouTube has not canceled that situation. So there's someone out there that's impressionable enough to believe someone like Cynthia G and say, you know what, maybe black male babies should be aborted. So then you have a bunch of black women, I guess, being birthed to what? To women that would rather sit around and call men dusties and trash bags, etc., etc. Now, Cynthia G is not the only content creator that does this. There are multiple content creators out there that pride themselves on degrading black men and women and communities. And I'm curious about, why do you guys support them? Why do you support them? Why do you give them your donations? You give them your time. You give them your energy. Is it such a great disdain for black men that the best thing that you could do is downgrade them and disrespect them? Is it such a disdain for black women that the best thing you could do is downgrade them and disrespect them? I'm trying to figure out, why is Cynthia G's narrative, why is her rhetoric needed? Why is her hatred needed? Why is it needed? Like, is there a bunch of hurt people, vindictive people, bitter people, people that's getting railroaded and ridiculed? I'm trying to figure out what is the benefit for Cynthia G's message other than saying I'm promoting hate speech? And for those that's like her, and I'm trying to figure out why is it so hard to regulate that. We want to regulate black on black crime. We want to regulate police brutality. We want to regulate systematic racism. We want to regulate politicians. We want to regulate celebrities. But for some reason on YouTube, we do not want to regulate hate speech. We do not want to regulate a black woman telling black women, abort your black male babies. And the sad thing about it is you have women that applaud that narrative, that cheer for that narrative. Can you imagine as a son, as a father, as an uncle, as a family member or friend walking into a room where there are a bunch of women saying we're going to start aborting our black male babies? If that's not hate speech, I don't know what it is. If that's not hate speech, I don't know what it is. Somebody tell Cynthia G, pull up. Let's have a talk. It's time for some tough love. I don't know what happened to you to promote such a narrative. I don't know what happened to other people like you that are YouTubers that promote such a hate and a disdain for the black community, black men and women. But here's the thing. We don't need people like you on YouTube promoting that type of narrative. And for the people that's around you that give you a pass, that's BS. That's BS. And a lot of you guys sit in front of your children, you sit in front of your spouses, you sit in front of your friends, you sit in front of your coworkers, and you listen to this narrative. How many people would be fired? How many people would get a divorce or now, hey, y'all going y'all separate ways because somebody found out you're listening to Cynthia G and you're encouraging black women that are pregnant with male offspring to get an abortion? No. This is not about having a conversation directly with her. But I'm hoping that at some point in time, somebody hears this message, whether it's her or it's the people around her. And I want to ask this question. Why do you feel that promoting hate speech is a come up? Why do you feel like it's needed? Like everything that you can do in reference to research and building and teaching people how to communicate and then love languages and all of this great stuff. Why focus on the bad? All black men are not dusties, just like all black men don't like watermelon and rap music. All black women are not loud and ratchet, just like all black women don't like twerking. We're putting. Can you imagine somebody telling you to murder your unborn son? To murder your unborn son. Can you imagine walking into your house, into your mother's house, into your grandmother's house, into your aunt's house, into your girlfriend's house, and she's listening to a woman tell her, if you get pregnant, kill your baby. But you kept yours, Cynthia G. You kept your baby. You kept your child. So I don't get these people that sit online and they spread this hatred, they spread this fallacy, and they want you to do as they say, not as they do. Because if that's the case, you had a baby out of wedlock with another YouTuber that's black, and now you promote such hate speech. And my thought process is, what would your son say once he's old enough to find his mother on YouTube and listen to her tell the world, I should have aborted you? Sometimes I kind of sit down, like a fly on the wall. I sit down like a fly on the wall and I listen to some of these chats. I listen to these people in the manosphere, in the womansphere, the red pill, the blue pill, the pink pill. I just kind of sit and listen and see what the energy, checking the pulse of things or whatever, see what the conversation's about. And I find myself stumbling across Cynthia G's page or her videos from time to time. And I'm just like, who hurt you? Who is paying you to say these things? Like you must be getting a big check to do this. You must be getting a very big check to do this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. That shit is sad. And it's even worse because you have black women who are doctors, who are lawyers, who are mothers, who are girlfriends, who are wives, who are out in society and they have successful jobs. And these same women that's sitting down in Cynthia G's chat talking about dusties and this and this and this. Can you imagine going somewhere and needing a lawyer? And that lawyer is sitting in Cynthia G's chat talking about these dusties. We need to abort these babies. Can you imagine that same woman or another woman being a police officer and she stops you and you're a black man? Can you imagine how hard she's going to make it for you? Can you imagine meeting a beautiful woman in a club and walking up to her as a black man and saying, how you doing? You don't say anything disrespectful. You introduce yourself. You extend your hand. Hey, I would love to buy you a drink and just have a little conversation. No, Dusty, no trash bag. You are promoting a narrative that is unnecessary. That is unnecessary. Now, somebody would say, well, is what she's saying a lie? Is what she's saying, does it exist or doesn't it? And my thought process is there are a lot of bad people out there. It is not just black men. It is not just black women. Who are you putting yourself around? Who are you dealing with? Here's the thing, some people attract negative people. Whether it's your personality, it's the places you go, you attract negative people. And because you don't have any discernment on what it is that you really want, that you really want out of a man or out of a woman, you choose wrong. You choose the abuser. You choose the narcissist. You choose the toxic person. You choose the person that didn't heal from the last relationship. Even though they was giving you red flags, you ignored all the red flags because you wanted to be in a relationship. You wanted to get to those relationship goals and be able to tell your friends, look at my new man. So you gave him the pussy right up front. You gave her the dick right up front. And now when you get caught up in a situation that now there's a baby out of wedlock and things ain't work out because guess what? Now she got a new man. Now he got a new girl. And guess what? Now, oh, you a dusty. I am so tired of men and women using their bad relationships as talking points for all. I'm so tired of us listening to people who have not healed from their past traumas, their past narcissism, their past toxic levels. They're so focused on their last relationship and how it didn't work. The only way to heal is to get more people who are messed up like them. Can you imagine me being a 20-year veteran, standing in front of my soldiers and telling my soldiers, if you black soldiers, right? Black soldiers don't trust the white soldiers, right? Oh, no. Black males don't trust the female. Can you imagine that? We are literally driving in Iraq, right? Waiting for the Taliban to pop their head out. And here's the thing. The Taliban grabs a black female and drags her into a hut or into a town. And I tell black males, don't worry about her. She good. Call Cynthia G. Cynthia G, your hatred, your verbiage is dangerous. I know a lot of men, when they speak to you disrespectfully, so it's easily dismissed. It's easily to say, oh, he's just another Dusty. He's just this. He's just this. So I'm trying to speak with a certain level of professionalism and class. What you're spreading is dangerous. It's dangerous. And for you to have a black son and tell other women for you to have your child, carry your child a full term and have your child, birth your child, be able to hold your child, be a mother to your child, be a provider, be a protector, be a role model, nurture your child, build your child, to give them standards and morals, to teach them how to be a gentleman, to take them to their first day of school or pick them up from daycare and have those intimate moments. It's movie night. It's pizza night. Hey, we going to the skating ring. Let's go get some ice cream. For you to try to rob other women of that, that's wrong. Instead of showing women, hey, let's build stronger black men. Let's teach these young black men what they need to do from our point of view. The only thing you do is make up nicknames for them, Dusties and this and this and this. Are there bad black men? Just as many black. There's just as many black bad men there as it is black bad females. If you're going to talk about one, balance it out. There are bad people, period. White, black, Hispanic, Chinese, Oriental. There are bad people, period. There are people that have been raised in some messed up situations and they did not develop correctly. They did not have a natural life. And because they didn't have a natural life, they don't know what being a parent is. They don't know what being an adult is. They never had structure in their life. Cynthia G, I really want you to hear what I'm saying. I think it's fair. If Tanya TKO said, you know what, Cynthia G, you're not my cup of tea. For a woman to say something about aborting black babies, black male babies, and you're a black woman, whoo! I'm gonna tell you what she said. She called her Hitler. She compared her to Hitler. Spitting fire. I see you spitting fire. I would love to get your outtake on this too, spitting fire. Like, I don't know why Cynthia G is so dead set on promoting negativity from black men. I don't know why a lot of these YouTubers are dead set on promoting negativity from black men and black women in the black community or whatever. But I'm just like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I really wish YouTube made you show your face. For all the people that support her, I wish YouTube would show their face, show what type of jobs they got, show their credit score. Like, I want to know who your supporters really are. You understand what I'm saying? Because here's what I'm not gonna do. Okay. Here's what I'm not gonna do. What I'm not gonna do is, and this is what people that know their worth should never allow someone to do. Right? Can you imagine? What's this on my head? I'm sweating. Can you imagine somebody that don't have their life together fully, sitting online telling you about your life? Like poking holes and analyzing your life. Like imagine Cynthia G living in an apartment. Nothing's wrong with living in an apartment or whatever. Straight talk, I see you. Imagine her living in a 2-bedroom apartment and I'm living in a 5-bedroom house. And Cynthia G goes live and say, hey, ToughLove, you're dusty. You're a trash bag. I want you guys to think about the psychology of this. I'm not a dusty or a trash bag person because I don't have a place to live, or I don't have a deed to my house, or I don't have a mortgage, et cetera, et cetera. I'm a trash bag because I'm a black man. Not because I've done anything wrong. Can you imagine that? Ladies and gentlemen, what is the difference between Cynthia G and the KKK? Well, the color of your skin and your gender makes you automatically guilty. That you promote genocide. And that's not hate speech. Now, there's a lot of conversation with the R. Kelly trial and how it wasn't fair or whatever case may be. Here's the thing. Spit and fire, stay right there. This is why we have those situations with people like R. Kelly. It is you can easily throw him to the wolves because you have women like Cynthia G that make it very easy and showcase we're not going to support him. Imagine some of the women on the jury listening to Cynthia G, going in there with that narrative that he's guilty regardless, just because he's a black man. Think about that. You're guilty regardless. Imagine if the judge was a black female, prosecutor, black female. You're guilty regardless because you are a black male. Can you imagine the odds that would be placed against you? Here's the thing. Isn't that what society does anyway? You know what's so funny? I'm gonna give y'all a little story, right? I stopped at this Mexican restaurant. I probably frequently I go there maybe once a quarter, for a quarter every 3 months, right? Try to switch it up. And I sat at the bar. So one of the owners, they saw me sit down or whatever case be. He ain't say nothing to me or whatever. But every white person that walked past this guy, hey, how you doing? Welcome. Hey, everything's good. Like he was just overly like excited and polite and promoted so much customer service. But he kept looking at me and was like, it was no smile. It was no, hey, everything's good. Do you need anything? It was none of that. So the woman that's the bartender, she was like, we were talking or whatever case be. He was like, okay, he was in, the military or whatever case be, 20 years. He was, he's an Army veteran, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when he heard that is what got him to come over to me and say, oh, hey, thanks for your service or whatever. And I asked him, this is what I did. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. I hold men and women accountable. You know what I'm saying? Just like I would hold myself accountable. I asked him, I said, what's the difference in you finding out that I'm a veteran in the military than me just being a black man sitting over here eating at the bar? Like, what was the difference? Like, I seen several people. Now, when I say they wasn't across the room, they was like right here. They was within arm's distance. You understand what I'm saying? So he was like literally right here, greeting everybody else that walked in, and even the people that were sitting down around me. It was like, hey, how you doing? Can I get you anything? Et cetera, et cetera. And I say that to say this. There's already, for some reason, a major disdain for black men. So when you have black women promoting a disdain that we need to divest, we need to abort black babies, we need to disrespect them, we need to call them names, what message are you sending to other races? Come on in our house and take our sons. If they're in the streets, they're all drug dealers. They all lack some type of importance and relevance. So please take them away, lock them up, and throw away the key. Kill them. It's okay. We're not going to support them. We're not going to do this, and we're not going to do this. I heard Cynthia G say something about black women don't feel protected. You mean you don't feel protected? That's what you meant to say. You don't feel protected. Because here's the thing. I know numerous black women around me that feel protected. So either you got the wrong black men around you, or you've pushed away black men. Because here's the thought process. When you push people away, 9 times out of 10, You're not going to get them to run and jump in front of you when something goes wrong. Can you imagine me as a black man? Let's just say Cynthia G was my neighbor. And Cynthia G is over there in her apartment or whatever case may be, and the walls are thin for some reason. And I can hear her say, y'all need to divest from these black men and y'all need to abort your black babies. And I'm hearing this as a black man. Do you think that I'm going to be, I guess we're supposed to be robots or something, and for some reason we're not supposed to have feelings. But do you think I'm going to be more inclined to want to help her with her groceries? Do you think I'm going to be more inclined to want to say, hey, good morning, how you doing? Do you think I'm going to be more inclined to say, oh, well, I hear something going on over there. Let me go check and see if I can help. You're promoting a dangerous narrative. You're promoting a dangerous narrative. And the sad part about it is people that applaud it and they give you money, time, and energy. I sit and I listen to these panels. I literally I'm really like screaming in my head because listen, ladies and gentlemen, I was in the military for 20 years. When I tell you I had all types of soldiers, race, colors, creed, genders, nationalities, a lot of people, right? Phenomenal soldiers. Phenomenal soldiers. Do you know how they would have looked at me if I was listening to Cynthia G? If I was listening to a Tommy Sotomayor? Do you know how that would have played on their psyche to hear that one of their leaders, one of their senior leaders, is listening to something that really degrades men and women? Do you think that they would have respected me? So let's take the military aspect out. Do you think that a school teacher, a mailman, a preacher, like, do you think that these people are robotic or something and they don't have feelings? When they listen to your rhetoric and you promote narratives that they should have been killed before they had a chance to showcase who they were. Do you think that that's going to promote togetherness? Do you think that's going to promote a better conversation? Because it's not. And for those women that have been hurt, those women that have been abused, those women that just want to join the bandwagon and want to feel like they're part of this sisterhood, this sorority of negativity, I feel sorry for y'all. Because happy women would not do that. Happy men would not do that. When you're happy in real life, you wouldn't be online promoting negativity. You wouldn't be promoting hatred. It wouldn't flow. Listen, I've had some fucked up shit happen to me. Let me raise my hand. I've had some fucked up shit happen to me. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not sitting online saying I hate women. I'm not sitting online saying I hate the black community. I'm not sitting online saying I hate black men. Because I understand that these were individuals and this was a time that, you know what, something happened or whatever, but I learned from it and I learned how to deal with it if it ever happens again or whatever case may be. And it made me stronger. It made my character better. But for some people, they can't get over that trauma. Every single time Cynthia G goes live, she is reliving whatever trauma that got her to that point. Every time. Every single time she goes live with another dusty comment or another dusty video or another trash bag this and a trash bag that, and these black men are so submissive to white men and they don't own anything. Do you know how many business owners where do you live at, Cynthia G? They don't own houses. They don't own cars. They're submissive to the white man. The white man tells them what to do. I'm trying to figure out, when did Cynthia G become higher than black men? Like when did you putting down all black men Right? So that's your lead attorneys, that's your Kwame Browns, that's your Hassan Campbells, and that's all of these men right now that are probably either somewhat bigger than you on YouTube, or maybe y'all just neck and neck. But the fact of the matter is, if a man has what you have, how can he be dusty? If my if my credit score is 797 and your credit score is 797, how can you call me dusty? If you got the keys to your house and I got the keys to my house, what makes me dusty? I'm just curious. All the positive conversations, all of the encouragement that we can be using. Instead, what we do is we promote division. We promote separation. We promote hatred. We continuously do this on a daily basis to the point where there is this big ass gap of bullshit and we sell it. We package it up in a nice, pretty bow and shit. Oh, this is pink pill. This is red pill. This is blue pill. And then we say, here you go. If you're traumatized, come over here. If you're a narcissist, come on. You're toxic, come on. You've been abused. We gather up all of these people and we promote this narrative of we can't do better. We can't be better. We can't be friends. We can't be lovers. We gotta be enemies. Cynthia G, if you were pulled over on the side of the road with your son, I would stop for you and I would render aid. If you needed your tire fixed, if you needed a tow truck, if you was getting your bags out, grocery bags out there, I would say, hey, do you need help with that, ma'am? I wouldn't say that you are, because you're a black woman, you should have been aborted. So why do you think that your life is more valuable than black men's life? Why do you think that your life is more valuable than a black unborn child that's a male's life? I don't know how old you are, but can you imagine if a young man was to call into Cynthia G's show and say, why do you think I should have been aborted? I wonder what she would say. I wonder what her audience would say. We take it off of YouTube. We do this face to face. We make it a mano a mano. We sit in the same room. We have her Cynthia G followers. Everybody is in the same building. And we have a young man walk up there, right? And ask her straight up, why do you think my mother should have aborted me, Cynthia G? Then the young man goes and says, you know what? Before you answer that, he says, I'm a Harvard grad, right? I'm a lawyer. I'm an astronaut. I'm this. This is all my accolades, right? I volunteer my time, right? I have morals and standards. I've never been to jail. But for some reason, you feel like I shouldn't have been born, but you should be born. You should grow up and you should be able to sit online and spread this narrative about hatred for black men, for people that look just like me. Can somebody ask Cynthia G that question? Why does she feel her value is more important than any other man's value, any other person's value? And now we're looking at this situation where she feels her value is more important than unborn black male children. So when Tanya TKO said, hey, I'm parting ways, you're not my cup of tea, you kind of remind me, you give me these Hitler vibes, I understand that. I get it. I get it. What you're doing is scary, unnecessary, and unsafe, unrealistic. And I can't imagine in real life that you're happy. Nothing about your narrative promotes happiness. Nothing about what you're saying says that I am happy in my real life. I am fulfilled in my real life. I have a healthy regimen. I have a healthy routine. Hey, I go work out. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I can take this makeup off, these eyelashes off, this contact off. I can pull this wig off. I'm comfortable in my skin. I walk it how I talk it. You see the twinkle in my eye. These my real eyes. This is my real skin. You scared to be the real you, but you down people who are brave enough to be the real them. I hope that Black women do not take your advice. I'm hoping that more Black women counteract your message. Not disrespect you, not drag you, but I'm hoping that Black women and Black men can find a common ground, a common denominator to start the conversation. That's why Tough Love exists. That's why this platform, that's why my platform exists. That's why other people's platform exists, to have conversations that people kind of shy away from and to bring people together. Whether it's all men or all women, my thought process is I want to empower everything I touch. Every time I speak, I want it to be with a certain level of authority, a certain level of conviction. I believe that your message is dangerous. I believe that you're going to steer people down the wrong road. There are so many reasons to be a positive person. There's so many reasons to want to empower Black women. And what we do is we empower them in their pain. We empower them to be vindictive, to be bitter. Here's the thought process. The same issue that I had with Derek Jackson, I felt like he was one dimensional. I felt like he felt like, okay, you got the left side and the right side of the body. He only wanted to work on Black women. He only wanted to tell Black women that you are the best. You deflect everything. You are a queen. If he can't get it right, you leave him. Not have a conversation with him. How many homes did Derek Jackson break up? I'm going to empower women to a state of delusion. If a Black man messes up, or if your man messes up, he ain't no good. Get rid of him. Hold on, wait a minute. Not go to counseling? Not sit down and work on communication? Not ask her, hey, are you the woman? Are you a good woman? Because a lot of people say, I'm looking for a good man. But the first question is, are you what you're looking for? When you talk about the manifestation, have you manifested to a level up? Are you considerate? Are you loyal? Are you trustworthy? Do you got your shit together? Everything you want people to bring to the table, do you even have a table? Are your chairs sturdy? Do you have salt and pepper on your shit? I mean, I just want to know, are you good? Are you where you need to be? A lot of people have these demands and stick their chest out and say, I'm looking for somebody that can do this. He better have 6 figures. He better be this. He better be that. But you are still riding the bus. You live at home in your mama basement. You don't pay no real rent. You ain't got no real responsibilities. Now, we can get a little bit deeper. God forbid if you got 2 or 3 kids now. But you want someone to come in and save you. But because a man knows his worth, because he grew up with somebody, said, hold on, wait. Before you start demanding what I should bring to the table, do you have your own table? You can't say I'm at my mama's house and you have no responsibilities. You can't say, oh, well, as a man, you should take me out my mama's house. Why couldn't you as a woman take yourself out your mama's house? Cynthia G's message are for people in their mama's house. Not people that got their own shit. Cynthia G's message are for people that ride the bus. That when their car get broke down, they can't afford to get their car fixed. Or for people with low vibrations that can't have a tough conversation without name calling. You got to understand the concept in which I am directing right now. Positive women don't act like that. Successful women don't act like that. People that got their shit together don't act like that. So when I see that, my first thought process is, you ain't got your shit together. Financially, mentally, emotionally, something missing. To be able to gather a bunch of women, to hear you call men dusties, to gather a bunch of men to tell, oh well, all of them ain't shit. If you're black, you a male, you ain't shit. But what happens if the man, okay, let me lay this out for you guys, right? Let's say Cynthia G has a master's degree. Black male has a doctorate degree. Cynthia G's has properties, right? She has a couple properties, nothing real big or whatever case may be, but she does have land. But this guy right here, he owns a casino. He owns a basketball team. You see what I'm saying? Cynthia G is a single mother, I believe of one, and not married. This guy right here has 3 children, been in the children's life all the entire time, from birth to crawling to college and there then some. Can you call this man a dusty just because he's a black man? Will that fly? Will that fly? What Cynthia G don't realize is that is very unattractive. And maybe you would say, well, she's not looking for you. She's trying to impress somebody else. And here's the thought process. I was in the military for 20 years, and you know who I worked closely with? White men, Arab men, black men, Oriental men, Hispanic men. None of them would find what you're doing. No successful man would find what you're doing online as attractive. They would look at it as she is ridiculous. Somebody just said it right in the comments. 45 CP. They don't watch her. You exactly right. Whether you a high value man, alpha male, manly man, or a man that just has his shit together and you just doing what you need to do and you affecting the things in your small world and your small circle. Nobody, no man that is happy, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally fit, financially fit would look at you and say, girl, you are speaking the truth. You are giving the gospel. They wouldn't entertain you. They wouldn't talk to you. They wouldn't talk to you because your resume starts off with hatred. Your resume doesn't start off with balance. So whether you want a white man, a black man, an Oriental man, or this man, they type in your name and they hear what you do on a daily basis. You spew out hatred on a daily basis. Who would want to marry someone like that? Who would want to say, I want her as a girlfriend? When you're brave enough to come online without your makeup on, eyelashes on, contacts on, weave on, then you can start calling black men whatever you want. Then you can sit down and have a real conversation. You're scared to be you. You're scared to be seen for you. So you're doing all of this deflecting, talking about them and they. Who are you? Who are you? Who are the people that follow you? Do they look like you? Do they act like you? Do they sound like you? You can't call a man something that you scared to be. If that's the real him, that's the unperfect him. Right? That's the bare-faced him. That's the bald-headed him. Right? Who are you? Cynthia G gets to hide. She gets to hide her face, right? And talk shit about everybody else. She gets to say all of these dusties, all of these trash bag guys, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and gets to hide her face. What you look like without all that stuff on, Cynthia G? What my man say? He said take the wave cap off, and then he said take the bonnet off. Take the weave off. Take the eyelashes off. Take the makeup off. Let's see who you are, and then let's see if you can sit down and have the same conversation. I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I don't sit down and proclaim to listen to anybody. Somebody just mentioned Kevin Samuels. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just like spitting fire to a certain degree. I visit people's channel, but I normally focus on tough love and its message, and I address things that I feel like are important to the people, to give them a better perspective. You see what I'm saying? I don't. This is not a joke on Cynthia G. Nothing's funny. I have daughters. Can you imagine my daughters? I couldn't imagine. I would feel so disappointed in my child to sit online day after day, hour after hour, and her main goal in life is to promote hatred for black men. I appreciate that spitting fire. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm disappointed because I feel like all of these people listen to this rhetoric of hatred and are afraid to speak up, and that think that this is what we need to be hearing. And then, because this is why the LGBTQ plus community is so powerful, because everybody's saying, hey, we transgender, we bi, we lesbian, we gay, and we all in one pot. And when we move as a unit. Why black people don't do that? Why the black community don't do that? Black women over there, black men over there. We hate you. Well, we hate you too. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. And we never get to the conversation. All these creative content creators who come up with all of these videos and catchy names, and for some reason, bringing us together is not the narrative. Do me a favor. I'm going to hashtag Cynthia G in this. I'm going to hashtag tonyatko. I'm hoping that they get this message. I'm hoping that instead of saying, well, let me just joke this away, let me deflect this away, I'm hoping that they listen to what I'm saying, because my thought process is we could do a better job of building one another and bringing us together. If you only want to focus on the empowerment of women, empowering someone else doesn't mean the downfall of someone else, doesn't mean degrading someone else, disrespecting someone else, doxing someone else, making someone else feel lesser than. I don't know where this empowerment is going. We have an opportunity to do better, and on a daily basis we fail because we think that being negative is the greatest level of entertainment, the most powerful level of entertainment. Cynthia G, you are afraid to be yourself. What them young people say, you are afraid to come outside and have a real conversation. Now, I know that you pride yourself on you're a great debater. You're a great debater. I'm going to ask you one question. Why is your life as a female, as a black female, more important than any black unborn child, any black male unborn child? Can you please answer that question? Can you answer that question? Why should we kill unborn black male babies? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ToughLove. It's interesting. It's interesting. Somebody says, why are we even wasting time on that sellout? I never feel like any videos that I do is a waste of time. And if the argument is going to be, I did not respond to him because he called me names or he disrespected me or he was unprofessional, I wanted to take that narrative out. And now when she sees the video, of course, you still can deflect and you still can do all that other stuff. But what's going to happen is somebody from the Cynthia G side is going to say, Tough Love has a point. One person. Just one. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mario J. This is Tough Love. I'm hoping that you guys have a phenomenal night. And I'm hoping that we do better. If you are new to the Tough Love channel, whatever, please feel free to join the Tough Love family. We are growing. And I appreciate you guys. You know, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's get people in this conversation. All right. Salute to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Peace.